Well, happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to our final edition of I'm Tara Setmayer, Julie Roginsky, Michelle Kinney, JoJo from Jers is she is tied up. Unfortunately, she has a situation with her sister's dog and it requires surgery. And we are sending prayers out to the pup. So she's not with us today, but I believe we do have a message from her later on in the show. Michelle is in transit on her way back from visiting the family up in upstate New York. No snow, I see now.
Well, not where I am on Riverside Drive right now, Riverside Park, and actually the leaves are still on the trees, which is like a 180 from the tundra that I just left. So
really,
where am I? Yeah.
There's the leaves are gone down here in Northern Virginia where I am.
Really?
Julie, were leaves on the trees in Pennsylvania over the weekend where you were?
Yeah. There's always leaves on trees. Interestingly, I'm just looking out my window and I have this. It's not a magnolia tree. I don't know what it is, but it buds. It flowers every like April and then it loses its leaves very quickly. So I don't know what it is, but it looks like a magnolia.
I have one in my front yard.
Yeah, and leaves for some reason the buds are starting to come back. I'm just looking at it right now, which is weird. It's December. I don't know why it's budding, but
that's weird. It's weird. Well, there's a lot of weird shit going on. As always, add the magnolia tree buds coming back in December. There's been a lot going on since the last time we were all together. And I mean, a lot.
It feels like one day. I hate to use this analogy again because it's a little obscure for the average person, but it's like political brigadoon where every day is 100 years for the rest of the world. But it's true. It's like every day feels like a year's worth of news and nonsense. And listen, I don't know about y'all's mental health, but it's hard to keep up with.
Look, it is. I mean, again, that's why I always focus on bright spots like we do over at Seneca every week now. I'm like, I've added a bright spot as part of our newsletter because it's important to hold on to the bright spots because there are still some. We can't let ourselves fall down the doom spiral all the time or else we'll lose it. We as democracy defenders and, constantly on the front lines of this battle, we have to make sure our cups are filled too because
morale, right?
We have to. That's right.
Morale.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Tara, because it's so true. Everything is so dark and we're all so constantly vigilant about everything happening. And then you have somebody like Sabrina Carpenter yesterday doing something completely unexpected. I don't follow her. I don't really know much about her. I only know her from her SNL stuff. I'm not familiar with her music necessarily. I know Espresso, but that's about it. But you have somebody like her effectively just coming out of the blue and being like, don't use my music for your bullshit.
Yeah.
And
like, don't use it. She was like, don't use it. And here's why, which is like, listen, it's courageous in this moment. And, I know we talk about this as the people that are, at the forefront of culture right now are not being courageous, but that is, and we should applaud that. And we should thank her for that and support her in any way we can.
I was with you. I don't really know her. That's not my demo. I don't, the music that I listen to. I mean, I catch some pop now, but like I discovered Ray earlier this year at the Grammys, and I sent a note to Michelle and was like, "Who is this unbelievably talented young woman? She's amazing." And I caught myself watching
in the water in London with these.
I don't know. Cynthia Erivo's is British also. So was Amy Winehouse, Joss Stone. Right. Oh my God. So they are just amazing talents over there. And her Royal Albert Hall performance was playing over the weekend on PBS, the stations that are still surviving. And I watched it again. She's just incredible. But like, I'm glad to see that artists like that. I think that generation has kind of come up at a time where speaking out is natural for them. Because they've been kind of like in a protest from like the Black Lives Matter stuff, the George Floyd's, like all that in what happened, the Women's March, like these artists grew up in that. Yeah. Whereas like Gen Xers like us and some of the older millennials like you, Michelle, like we kind of lived through a period of not as much turmoil.
It's not polite to talk about politics at the dinner table. You know what I mean?
No,
well,
not anymore.
In theory.
Back then, I guess is my point. And I apologize in advance. Joe's undoing the car because he's a very, very nice man.
That's
so,
okay.
I'll keep myself muted while that's happening. So.
No worries. Like we said, Michelle's in transit, and we're glad she was able to even make it. And the fact that technology today allows her to do this from the car. So bright spot.
Guys, do you know that this week is the 41st, and you want to feel old, the 41st anniversary of Wham's Last Christmas?
Have you seen the documentary?
Yes.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
It's amazing. You mean about Wham?
So good. Yes, and about them making that video.
Oh, no. I saw the documentary on Wham, just the whole thing.
And the George Michael documentary is incredible also, but there is a documentary about the making of that video that is incredible. So they basically reunited all the original members of Wham and the people in that video. Like they filmed it in some snowy place somewhere lovely in Europe. Yeah. And they all get together and they talk about it, and they have footage from the original video, and they talk about George Michael and like what a creative genius he was. And it's really, really good. I mean, especially if you're a George Michael or Wham fan, it just takes you back.
That's
me too. Me too. Yeah, it's really, really, really good. So I highly recommend it.
I never understood that video. That video was like they all go skiing, and then George Michael steals Andrew Ridgeley's girlfriend.
Right. They talk about it. They talk about the story. Yeah, they talk about the genesis of the whole thing, and so you'll feel less rigid about it when you watch the documentary. Yeah,
I have to give Andrew Ridgeley credit. I know we're totally off topic here, but let's talk about something.
We can talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, like Andrew Ridgeley walked away from Wham when George Michael's like, "I want to do my own thing," and Andrew Ridgeley was like, "No problem, go do it," and was just really like completely, it's like the antithesis of like your typical rock breakup. And he just kind of walked away. He's like, I've got other stuff to do. He didn't want to continue playing music. But what was interesting is that apparently the entire time in Wham, George Michael was trying to emulate Andrew Ridgeley. Like Andrew Ridgeley was kind of the guy he looked up to and wanted to emulate. And Andrew Ridgeley was like, I think I'm done, and just walked when George Michael said he wanted to do his own thing, which I thought was like completely bizarre in the scheme of like rock and roll breakups.
Well, I think there was more than just the rock and roll business relationship of that with their friendship and stuff.
Yeah,
like they, there was a little more dynamics going on there that I think may have contributed to the amicable way in which he blessed his solo career. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah. So yes, we were talking about Last Christmas. I cannot believe it's 41 years old. I mean, over the weekend, of course, I would hope that everyone took some time to just do nothing and chill the fuck out, because like I said, we need to be recharged. And I did. And I started watching, there was a bunch of like old movies that came on, and I was saying to my husband, Back to the Future came on. And we've all seen it a million times, right? But
never gets old.
It never gets old. And to think about the fact that the 30 years from 1985 to 1955 is literally 1995 to now, I was like, I can't. This is too freaking weird. I was like,
that I had never thought about, and now I'm gonna need a minute.
Yeah. And by the way, that 30 years from 1985 would have been 10 years ago. That's what's so crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Because Back to the Future 2 takes place like
before 2015, I think.
2015, right? Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And actually, I mean, aside from maybe the fashion, I would say, well, although there's a lot of athleisure in Back to the Future 2, there's like the tablets, the weather forecasting being better. There was like a lot of things other than there's a lot of things other than everyone says hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hello.
And hi to the kitties.
Yeah, there. I know my poor cat. That's a whole nother thing.
I know.
Let me just tell you, my cat has IBD. I was on the phone with vets for 5 hours yesterday trying to get him medication in a blizzard. Like, let me between parents and pets and everything else, y'all, it is a time. But that is why we have that we're over. That is why we have things like Back to the Future, because we need to escape to the good place. Where Michael J. Fox is a happy, healthy young man.
I know. And we all wanted a flying DeLorean.
I know.
And you know what else made me think of that? Are you guys into Stranger Things? Do you guys watch the show?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, so yes, I've been invested since day one, since it first came out, 9 years ago, 2016. And so they dropped the new Stranger Things. It's the final season now. I mean, it's taken forever. And all the kids like have grown up now. They were like cute little kids before, but now they're all like, grown.
Doesn't one of them has a kid, the main girl, right?
She's married to Millie Bobby Brown is married to
John Bon Jovi's son.
John Bon Jovi's son. Yes. They got married at like 20 and they've adopted. I believe they adopted their first kid. Yeah. Yes. So it's kind of like I'm like, how are they going to do this since they all grew up? But they were able to advance the story so that it wasn't as jarring, quite as jarring. But anyway, so on Stranger Things, part of the appeal for folks like me was the nostalgia. All right, growing up as an 80s kid, like late 70s, early 80s kid, like all the nostalgia, the fashion, the music, like the cultural references. I'm like, oh my God, it's kind of like, it's very like Goonies like in that way. Anyway, so one of the characters made a quip about the flux capacitor. And I was laughing because I was like, oh my God, not the flux capacitor. Came on. So I was like all into the whole thing. And I was like, oh, it was just.
Wait, is Stranger Things scary?
It is. I mean, I don't like horror or gore, and it is a little scary, and it's like, it pushes the limits of what I actually watch ever, like normally. But the rest of the storyline is so good, and the kids are such great actors. And like I said, the trip down memory lane just makes it. I tolerate some of the gorier stuff that's in it. Not my first preference, but the rest of it is just so. It's just so.
Is Winona Ryder in it?
Yes, it basically resurrected her career.
Wow.
Yeah. And David R. Harbour is in it. He's really good. They're like the most notable people that are in it. And then this season, what's her name? Linda Hamilton is in it.
Somebody said that.
Right there. Yeah. She looks a lot like my grandmother. I was weirded out. Well, she's like 70 now. I mean, she's still a badass, but she's like 70.
She's still ripped?
You can't really tell because she plays a military character. You know, she's good at those roles. But an older, like a military scientist kind of person. And she's a villain this time around. So it's kind of hard to like, she's Sarah Connor. She'll always be Sarah Connor. She'll always be badass Sarah Connor.
I know, like, want to talk about like 80s, 90s movies that are coming true in 2025.
I know. What do I say all the time, Michelle? Skynet's going to kill us all. I say this all the time with AI and all of that. But
it's like Terminator 2 and Hunger Games, to your point, and Celebrity Apprentice are all together to make
all coming together.
The whole listen. I think we've talked about this before. Tara, did you say this at some point? That Celebrity Apprentice. This is like the Apprentice meets the Hunger Games. Is that your line?
Yes. I said it way back early.
Yeah,
it's so true. So I did not watch that shit show yesterday live.
Oh God!
In the Oval Office or wherever they were. They weren't in the Oval Office, but that cabinet meeting. But then I watched it. I watched it later. I watched clips later, and it really. I've never seen the Celebrity Apprentice, but it really seemed very much to me like they're all like trying to throw each other under the bus and get Daddy's approval
while he snored.
And
it's basically Celebrity Apprentice, from what I can tell.
That's exactly what it is. That's just everyone's throwing each other under the bus, and then also, it's all performance, right? Even reality TV is still scripted, right?
Yep.
So, like, there is this sort of pre-planned, inorganic way that they perform for each other, and especially him. And the thing that's so funny about Donald Trump, watching him yesterday, is like he wants everyone to be so like fluffing him all the time. He loves it, but there's almost something about it that he detests. There's something about it he hates it, because it's like he almost sees people as submissive and pathetic, almost. Like, I don't know, maybe this is just
no, you're right. It's like I was
also
you're exactly right, because I was saying I see a couple people in the comments saw me on Don Lemon yesterday,
Yeah.
and like I went off on what was happening yesterday because it's just so much going on, and I'm so sick of these stupid cabinet meetings. We've had 9 of them already this year, and they're just so obnoxious and so North Korea and Orwellian that
like, what are you accomplishing in this meeting? Like,
we all know what it's about. Right. We all know what it's about. It's like you said,
Right.
it's about fluffing Donald Trump, and because Trump is under assault, because his health is in question, his decision making's in question, his poll numbers are in the tank. They need to we got to orchestrate like you said, a reality show. We got to orchestrate the whole kiss his ass thing to make him look like the strong leader he is. But you know what? We have seen this so many times now that we're bored, and even Donald Trump is bored with it. He's bored. That's why he was snoozing. Well, on top of other things that he's unwell, and it's clear. But like, even he's bored with the bullshit.
Oh yeah, he's very bored, and it's so obvious, and I feel like that just makes the other ones dig in even more. And I feel like there's like the other layer of this is Donald Trump, I think, looks around that table and he sees a bunch of like people from the South and like people who aren't New York. And he's just like, I can't believe I got stuck with you chumps. Like, you know what I mean? And that because they're all that's left. So not only is he having to sit around this table with a bunch of people he has no respect for, who are like groveling on their knees to him. And he's like, you pathetic, but I need you. And I love hearing good things about myself.
Yeah.
He's just like in this cycle of just.
But you raise a good point, right? Like he demeans the people who suck up to him. Like he doesn't respect them.
Yeah. And they don't that. And you guys don't realize this. He doesn't respect you for it. The more you do, the weaker he thinks you are.
You have like Margot Rubio who's sitting there because and we talked about this, Michelle and I talked about it this morning, but like Margot Rubio is sitting there fluffing Trump.
He's asleep.
While Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, who are not government officials, are simultaneously sitting in the Kremlin, negotiating with Vladimir Putin. Like
I said that too yesterday.
I was like, Secretary of State.
I was like, Secretary of State. I'm like, why is the Secretary of State at this stupid meeting and not negotiating what he's supposed to be doing? That's what the Secretary of State is supposed to be doing, not these two idiots.
I have the answer. Wait, can I answer that question?
Yeah.
The question, or can I answer?
No, I mean, you can. I mean, we know the reason is because
the reason is so obvious. The reason is that the reason was that they were not interested in negotiating on behalf of the United States.
No,
they were interested in They were interested in how do they get a cut of the sweet 50% that Russia is going to give them. For the reconstruction of Ukraine. It's a complete and utter grift.
Was that the Times or the Post? Who came out with that story over the weekend, which was something else that happened in the last 7 days? There's been so many extraordinary stories that happened over the holiday. That was one of them. Was it the Times or was it the Post?
Bloomberg.
It was Bloomberg that did that story.
It was Bloomberg. Somebody gave the transcript to Bloomberg, which I thought was interesting. And I assume it's either, what they call the deep state, or more likely one of our European allies who's like, we're sick of this shit.
That's where my money is.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, when our European allies are saying we're not going to share intelligence with you anymore, like Britain just did, well, believe me, the Europeans and the Five Eyes group, which is
that doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, he doesn't know what that is. But the Five Eyes Intelligence Consortium is us, Canada, Britain, New Zealand, and who's the fifth one?
Australia.
Yeah. And so you can't tell me that they aren't back channeling and cutting the U.S. out. They have to be. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard is the head of national intelligence. She's a fucking Russian agent. Yeah. And everybody, like, come on, like they're definitely making contingency plans to circumvent us because they can't trust us, which is very bad for us until we get these people out of office. On a national scale. But
it's scary not to go down a dark, deep rabbit hole, but it's not like they have a mind wipe the minute that they leave office, right? It's not like they have implanted their own people and have fired people who need to be there. I don't know what's happening on the intelligence side, but we all know that Kash Patel has effectively gutted the counterintelligence unit of the FBI and sent them to deal with border shit, which is stupid. And then it's no surprise that when you have a radicalized Afghani coming to New York, coming to Washington, D.C. and murdering a
National Guard,
National Guardswoman, and then almost killing the second one. What's fascinating about all this is that you have, and I don't know if people notice this, but you have the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, when she's asked about this, saying, oh, no, he got radicalized after he came here. Translation, it's not my fault that we gave him asylum. He got radicalized afterwards. It's Kash Patel's fault that he wasn't keeping track of this.
This is the Hunger Games part of this, guys.
Part of this, right? It's exactly what Tara said. It's the Hunger Games part of this, but the hilarious part of this, which is not so funny, is that Kash Patel 100% should have been responsible for this and should have had counterintelligence people looking at it, but he didn't because he gutted counterintelligence.
And that is something that people need to understand, because that was another headline while we were gone, is that Kash Patel, that Trump was looking at getting rid of him. And people need to understand that the FBI is in absolute tatters. It is in complete disarray. And we know this because there are some still inside that are speaking about this anonymously. And then you have this lawsuit by 3 FBI agents who were fired unjustifiably that are suing for their wrongful termination. So things are coming out in sworn testimony and discovery about what they're saying was going on. So more and more people are talking about what Kash Patel is doing. We've seen a series of stories, right? This isn't by accident that people are leaking this information, because the American people need to know. First, we found out about how his missteps with the investigation into the Charlie Kirk murder. There's a Daily Breeze story this morning. I don't know if you saw it, where they're talking about, oh my God, it's another hit piece on Kash Patel about how he wouldn't get out of the FBI plane unless he had an FBI raid jacket on.
Yes, I did see.
And they had to go find a women's medium or some shit to fit him, because he's a little guy, shockingly. And so they were running around trying to. Now they're in the middle, the killer's still on the loose. And the FBI, first of all, the FBI director shouldn't have been there in the first place. That's not their normal role. It's absurd. It was all performance art. Then he gets there, and he won't get off the plane in Utah while the investigation's going on. The FBI is doing what they're supposed to do, and he's having a bitch diva moment on the plane, like, I need a jacket. Then they get him the jacket, and he's like, there's not enough patches on this jacket. He makes FBI SWAT team guys take off the patches on their jackets to give to him. Give me a fucking break with these people. So this is what we're dealing with. That was the story today. Then there's the story about him abusing the use of the plane, flying his stupid 26-year-old girlfriend, country wannabe singer girlfriend around, going to see UFC fights, seeing her perform at wrestling matches, singing the national anthem or whatever bullshit. That is not the use of the FBI plane. That's not what you're supposed to be doing with that. And he tried to, Laura Ingraham asked him about this last night, and he was like, I'm entitled to a social life, a personal life, just like every other director, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, first of all, that's your girlfriend, not your wife. Second of all, your service to the country comes first, not you using taxpayer money to go see your wannabe country singer girlfriend perform the national anthem at UFC matches or whatever the hell she's doing. Like, it is just such an abuse of power. And so on top of all of that, he's grossly incompetent. So people now the Afghan, there's been a series of the incompetence thing. Now, the story about the tragic story of this National Guards woman being killed by this Afghan who came in, was radicalized. Well, how come we didn't know? To Julie's point, because the FBI, who's in charge of counterintelligence, that's supposed to be their number one thing, they're off doing immigration raids and, I don't know, detaining college students trying to go visit their parents or whatever stupid shit they've got FBI doing in these immigration raids. And the country is less safe. And that is the bottom line here. And more people need to make those points, because he should go. Now, who replaces him? There's a co-FBI director, right? Like a co-deputy director. That's a position that's never happened before.
By the way, I can't believe that guy hasn't become the actual FBI director yet.
I think he will. Yeah. I think they're going to get Kash Patel, because he's embarrassing Trump now. He was put there to be a lackey. When he starts getting more attention, and that kind of scrutiny. You know, Trump hates the whole like flashy thing.
And attention to anybody but himself. Yeah.
His thing. If he wants to go on the planes and do all that, not you. You don't get to do that. So I think his days are numbered as FBI director. He's outweighing his usefulness now for him. It's becoming more of a nuisance. And that's why they anticipated this. And Pam Bondi hates him. So there's a lot of tension going on there. And I think Kash Patel, it's easier for him to go. And then now you've got the Pete Hegseth war crime stuff, which is even more complicated.
Well, this is what I'd love to hear your opinion on this. So you have Kash Patel, like being not Kash Patel. You got Pete Hegseth being tremendously under the gun, like under the gun, and I think that actually strengthens him with Trump, because the more the media goes after Pete Hegseth, the more Trump wants to double down. So in some ways, I think this is actually helpful to him. And I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
You know, it's welcome back.
Well, thank you.
We are now talking about Pete Hegseth. Well, here's the thing that I find fascinating about this. And part of that stupid press conference, that cabinet meeting yesterday, was for Trump to double down so that they could throw this admiral under the bus, which is just, again, disgusting and so typical of people who have no honor. And listening to a lot of even bipartisan criticism of this, which is something that we have not seen before since January 6th, I would argue that we have seen more and more Republicans actually speaking out against what Trump is doing and what this administration is doing, not just on this, but on a few things. And because they recognize the weakness, the polling numbers are terrible. And I call it the Marjorie Taylor Greene effect, because I think she has started something here. I call it the Fort Sumter first shot of the Civil War here. Sumter. Shot of the Civil War here within MAGA. And it's going to be difficult for Trump and the administration to ignore the fact that even John Yoo, right? Wasn't he the guy that wrote the torture memo during the Bush administration? Yes. Even he has come out and said that what Pete Hegseth has done is a war crime. Andrew McCarthy, you know him from over there at Fox, Julie. He's like one of the preeminent legal scholars analysts that they go to on all things conservative law. He used to write for the National Review. I don't know, he might still. Even he was like, this is a war crime. Yeah. George Will wrote an extraordinary op-ed in the Washington Post.
Extraordinary. I urge everybody.
He's an amazing writer. Anyway,
I'm going to pull it. I'm going to put it in the chat, because you're absolutely right. It's extraordinary.
Extraordinary op-ed about this and about what this says about this administration, about our country, what this represents. Like, some people might be thinking, why do we give two shits if we're blowing up boats of drug dealers in the Caribbean? Right. It's bigger than that. It is bigger than that. It has nothing to do with, and that's why they are using these guys. It's the same thing with the immigration mass deportation. They're going after the criminals and the rapists and all that to try to desensitize people to breaking laws, violating civil rights. They're doing the same thing here so that the American people get used to Donald Trump using the military illegally. So, we're okay with them breaking international law and breaking, the military code of justice with these, Venezuelan drug dealers. Well, how do we justify when they do it here? Well, we can.
We got to get rid of the bad guys. There's bad guys, and if we need to bend some rules a little bit to do that, let's be tough here, guys. I think, and kind of massaging the public opinion about it until it's just everything's okay. You know?
So I don't know. I didn't really answer your question, Julie. I'm not sure. Normally you're right. Trump, the more you attack that person, and of course, Pete Hegseth is doing all the right things. He's saying all the right things. He's going after the media. Like yesterday, he was like, this is the fog of war. And even though he's changed his story like 5 times. And
they're epsteining this whole thing. oh, there's no Epstein. Yes, there was. He was terrible. Oh, but Bill Clinton knew him and all the Democrats should go to jail. But I didn't know him.
It's a hoax.
Right,
it's a hoax.
It's a hoax.
Yeah.
Right.
But we're going to investigate it. But only the Democrats. But it's a hoax. Right. It's the same thing with the affordability argument. I'm the affordability president. I don't want to hear about affordability anymore. Everything's great. Affordability is, is a hoax. We're back to the hoax.
Everything is a hoax. I mean, like,
I'm like, do you know what a hoax is? Like, I don't know that you do.
The crazy part is, you guys, like, I think he actually believes this. It would be better. It would be better if he. It would be better if he were just a cynical politician who was trying to play his base. And I think he started out that way. I think he literally started out that way. And then I think he started believing his own bullshit.
He has to. That's how he survives, because he's mentally unwell. We all know this. He's physically and mentally unwell. Like, I mean, that's another thing that's been going on for the last couple of weeks. We have seen him crashing out more and more and more. Like, we've seen this before, so people kind of are like, whatever, that's just Trump being wacky because he's a wacko. But he's like even more particularly wacko lately, because he's again facing opposition. He's losing his grip on MAGA. His poll numbers are in the tank. He's just doing whatever the hell he wants. He's facing the reality that he's a lame duck president. He's surrounded by sycophants, so there's no one there to kind of smack him into reality. Like, there's nothing there. And he went on this insane Twitter, truth, whatever the hell fuck it is, posting overnight on Monday night, right? Was it Monday night where he posted like 400 times in 2 hours? He was posting like a post a minute, like an absolute lunatic at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning.
He's on Adderall. By the way, I think he's on Adderall. I think
he has been for years.
That's my point. But and God bless if he's got ADD or ADHD, it's a helpful medication. But I think we're at the point where he's like, I don't know if he's snorting Adderall, but I think he's taking a lot more than the prescription requires, or he has doctors.
He hasn't been. You know, when he would do this, the middle of, he hasn't been doing that lately, which I think is interesting.
Because whatever they're doing, it's going through here.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, who knows? Maybe he's got a deviated septum. Maybe he's got to stop doing it. He can't do that anymore. I don't know. We're just speculating here. But we know that there's definitely something going on with his hand because of the bruises.
And now, did you see that Caroline Levis said the MRI was a preventative MRI? Okay.
Okay.
What part of your body are you preventatively scanning?
And and how do you not know? I went off about this too yesterday. I'm like, first of all, the term preventative MRI is as asinine as alternative facts. It's up there. I mean, that is a doozy. Okay. The fact that she would actually with a straight face say a preventative MRI, I would guarantee. Have you guys had an MRI?
Yes.
Have you ever had an MRI?
No, I've
never had an MRI. Okay. Julie, then you know. Anyone here in the chat who's had an MRI knows it is a big, large, humongous thing that's very loud. It sounds like a fucking construction site. When you're in it, you have to go through a whole process of demagnetizing yourself. You take everything off that could potentially be a magnet. Yep. You have to like, they give you warm blankets because it's usually really cold in the MRI inside where the MRI room is. When you go in an MRI, you're like, it's like a sardine. Okay. You're this close from the freaking thing.
And they hone in on a specific, it's not like you do a full body scan. I had an MRI because of my neck, and they honed in on the back of my, like on the specific vertebrae. It wasn't even.
And they put you, like, I've had two MRIs for my knee because I've had 2 knee surgeries, right? Yeah. So and I always joke, I'm like, okay, I was an athlete for many years, and then I ran around Capitol Hill for many years in 5-inch heels. I was fly, I was slaying all day, but on the marble, I paid the price now.
Yeah.
It was, anyway. So I've had 2 knee surgeries, and probably gonna have to have a third. But anyway. So my mom has had countless MRIs because my mom has a lot of health challenges and she's claustrophobic. So like she goes into the MRI and like my stepdad will go with her and literally hold her foot to keep her like calm so that she realizes that she can come out. She can do, because
you're okay. Like,
that you're all right. And they have open MRIs in some places, not everywhere, for people like my mom who freak out. Right. But the point of all of this is an MRI is a whole thing. And you don't just do it preventatively, and you don't, it's not preventative, and it's to zero in on something that they think you have a problem about. You're very clearly aware of where they're doing it. Okay. You don't just like walk in and it's like some kind of scan, it's not a and that's that. Scan. Right. Exactly.
PET scan or whatever that is.
Full of shit. Full of shit.
He's full of shit. And listen, it's bullshit. And the part of this that kills me is that we have a pliant White House press corps who are good, but are not really good at follow-up questions, right? They'll ask the question, he'll tell them they're a bunch of morons, or they're fat, or they're picky, or they're ugly, or they're rude, or they're nasty. And then they'll still ask the question, and then he'll tell them again, and then Caroline Levitt will be like, yeah, it's a preventive MRI. Where's the person to say, hey, Caroline, doesn't exist. Right. Doesn't exist. What were they preventatively scanning? Was it listen, it very well could have been a preventative MRI in that, hey, Mr. President, you have Alzheimer's, and we have to see if there's plaque on the brain that's been
we have to check it, see if it's
to see if it's progressed, right?
But it's a diagnostic tool.
It's a diagnostic tool.
It's not right. It's not a preventative tool. Like, you don't get an MRI to prevent you from getting brain cancer.
Right.
It's a diagnostic tool to see, do you have brain cancer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
by the way, I don't show up, Tara. You don't show up. Michelle doesn't show up. The president of the United States doesn't show up. And he says, hey, give me a preventative MRI because maybe I have brain cancer. They'll be like, well, what are your symptoms? Like, do you have some, I can't show up today and be like, hey, I think I have brain cancer. Give me an MRI. They'll be like,
no. It's not a thing that's part of your regular routine examination. When you go for your physical, your regular routine physical, they take blood. They check your pulse. They check your blood pressure, right? They check your weight and your height. And then when they get the blood results back, or maybe they'll do an x-ray. Okay. Then they go, ooh, what's that? That doesn't look good. We're going to send you to go get an MRI so we can look further into what that is. It is a diagnostic tool. They don't just automatically, when you go, okay, I'm going for my physical. We're going to take blood, take urine, take whatever, and set up an MRI.
Can I speculate for a second?
Please.
Because sadly, I have a little bit of experience these days with this. He's got a long history of Alzheimer's in his family. His father had Alzheimer's. His sister, which they don't ever talk about, she had Alzheimer's. I know this because the judge, Marion Trumberry. I know this because I'm married to somebody who knew her well and is a member of that federal bar. That all biggest gossips in the world, by the way. And so she had Alzheimer's. And it's, I hate to say this, because God knows I've been thinking about this a lot, but it runs in the family.
Yeah.
There is new medication that has just been on the market very recently that can slow down the progression of Alzheimer's. And in order to qualify for that drug, you need to make sure that you don't have any brain bleeds, because what it does is it scrapes the plaque off your brain. So in order to have but when it scrapes the plaque off your brain, if you're prone to if you have little tears in your brain, which a lot of us do,
you can bleed out.
You can bleed out. So they have this very specific MRI now, and trust me, sadly, I know a lot about this now, that you can get of your brain to check if you have little tears in your brain, if you qualify for this very new, very advanced drug that.
Yeah, like just over the summer, right?
Like it's been around, I think, for a year or so. But the point is, it's very new. They don't know if it's a miracle drug that gets rid of Alzheimer's altogether, or just stops or just slows the progression of the plaque growing. I think that's what this is. It makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, it does. It's consistent.
And it's consistent. And I'm sorry, Tara, to say it is preventative, because it ensures that you don't, they have to check if you're going to have brain bleeds. So it is preventative to prevent you from potentially having brain bleeds by taking this drug.
That the drug is. Oh, you mean the MRI?
No. I mean, the MRI is, if you want to really parse it, you could argue that it's preventative to prevent you from getting brain bleeds.
Well, that's the thing with Trump. There's always a kernel of truth to something.
Right.
Like,
so technically, that is true. Like, for instance, people get this MRI before they take the drug because to prevent themselves from getting brain bleeds, to see if they're prone to them.
Yeah, right. I guess if you were making a legal argument,
this drug is IV. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Somebody asked a really relevant question. This drug is IV. It is done through infusion, like chemo. I don't know where in the body it is done. I suspect probably here. Is this where chemo goes in? Does it go into your hand?
Well,
I don't know.
There's like a port situation.
Yeah, I don't know, but it is an infusion. Yeah. This drug is infusive.
Yes.
Well, he's also there's another tell that how you know that it was probably a brain MRI, because he said it wasn't. He was fixated.
Oh yeah.
Fixated on it wasn't for the brain, because I already passed the cognitive exam and it was perfect and blah 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 blah. Like, okay, again, one has nothing to do with the other. And so the fact that he automatically went to, it's not that. Nope, no, it's not that.
Like,
tells me it was that.
Don't look at the dot. Don't look at that. You know,
right. He always does this.
Yeah,
he always does this. Mm-hmm. So that was another reason why I was like, it was probably the brain.
Yeah, and the cognitive part of what he was saying is like, now they've never had a president take it before. They said I'm the first one, and then I only did it to 10 though, because they said, or they don't want to do it to 10, because then once you get to 20, 30, the questions get harder, and it's like, I'm like,
it again, like,
picture here, buddy.
Let me be really transparent here. Okay. My mom's going through this. My mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So this is how I know all of this. And I'm telling you right now, I went with her for the tests. I went with her when they did the assessment. They asked her the year, they asked her very basic questions. And you know, when you don't have advanced Alzheimer's, you can answer many of those questions, but then they do a scan of your brain to see if you have plaque in your brain. And that's how they determine whether you have Alzheimer's. And then if you want to get this drug, you go through what I just went through, what I just described. And so I'm saying this to you to say that everything that I'm seeing from him, and this is all speculative, I have no idea, obviously none of us knows, but it all adds up to what I've just been going through. And I'm telling you right now that I believe that this is what this is about. If I'm wrong, then I'm sorry. I'm not defaming him by saying this. I'm completely speculating. But all of this adds up, including if he in fact is getting an infusion. I don't know. We're not at that stage yet with my mom. I don't know. She has to get this MRI to see if she has brain tears to qualify for this drug, which is why I'm telling you it's preventative technically. But you know, I think if you do get the drug, it is infusive, and I don't know if it infuses through the hand or how it is infused. But you know, that's where we are. That's where we are. He's getting the most advanced. He's getting the most advanced medication that he can.
Oh, sure, best in the world. Best in the world.
And this is what this advanced medication is. And they rushed it to the market after only 1.5 years of trials last year.
Wow.
So
well, let's well, you know, I mean, and I'm sure I say this on behalf of lots of folks that we're praying for your mom, Julie, and we, you know, that's very difficult. And, you know, some of us have experience with friends who know or family that has gone through this, and it's really hard. So, but she's lucky to have you, and she knows that, you know, you'll take the best care of her, make sure she has the best care. So sending prayers to your family and your mom.
And I appreciate it. I'm not saying this at all to talk about me. I'm just saying
but it's relevant to the conversation.
It's relevant because and I appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank you so much. But I think, the reason I don't want to dwell on it is because I just start breaking down when I think about it.
Sure.
But I'm saying this about Trump is I do think there is a parallel here to what I've sadly had to learn from personal experience as to what again, could be totally wrong, but I don't think so.
I mean, I just based on everything we've seen.
Right. Sometimes it's like it walks like a duck.
Yeah. I mean, it all adds up. It all adds up.
There is a like a senior or like elder care professional that's on TikTok and Instagram. He seems like he's probably a middle-aged man. If you're in the chat, you probably know who I'm talking about. And I can't remember his name for the life of me right now, but he has been talking about this. And he talked about that drug, Julie, which is why I was like, oh, was that last summer? Because he said it was like, I don't know, sometime last year, he said it was rushed to the market or something. And that the infusion schedule for these things are usually monthly or like 5 weeks or something. And he's like, and that's why he was like, now, again, speculating, it could be matched up with when he's not flying. when he's getting the infusions, and that listen, and he can have that and also have congestive heart failure and, you know, some sort of adrenal issue as well, because by the looks of his ankles or whatever else. I mean, I think he's got a lot of problems. It's not just one, you know.
And if it's these infusions are either once a month or twice a month, depending on which of the two drugs you take. So honestly, if you want to track his hand and when it's black and blue,
does this now. He's so diligent about it.
I know, but my point is, even if, you know, check when he does this, right? Like check when he does this. Does he do it once a month? Does he do it once every 2 weeks? Like,
I'm sure there's the internet sleuths are out there. Okay. That I guarantee there is someone that is tracking this. But you're right. And he is so cognizant of it. And Mary Trump talks about this all the time, about how he's so afraid of anyone ever seeing any weakness.
Yeah.
And he's so like, that is the worst thing. That's why he like goes off worse than usual anytime anybody questions his virility, his, you know, physical, whatever. That's why they put out that. Right. That's why they put out that bullshit doctor's note, you know, again, about how he's like the healthiest person ever. And everyone just rolls their eyes like we just did, because we're like, okay, we see what we see. The guy eats McDonald's every day. He doesn't exercise.
Yeah.
And he's obese. Like,
he's also, yeah, he's obese. And then he's talking about GLP-1s, you know, which is those Ozempic drugs and other drugs. He's talking about those and saying they're for fat people. Listen.
I'm sure he's been on them, because he did lose a little weight there for a while and then gained it back. And maybe they had to take him off of it because it was counterindicated with whatever else he's taking. Who knows? We don't know. But the fact is that we don't know, because they're a bunch of liars, and you can't believe anything that these people say. And so we have to sit here and play internet, you know, WebMD people on our streaming show, because you can't believe anything they say. Just really quick, I noticed that a couple people actually in the chat asked about my hat.
Yes.
Actually. Over on my Substack, Uncompromised, I started a merch line, the Uncompromised collection, and this is from that. So you can.
What does it say, Tara? I can't see.
Oh, it says "Slay All Day."
Oh, "Slay All Day." I saw this. I love it.
One of the hats. I have a couple others, but this one is one of them. And so, it's on my Shopify. So it's like, I think it's Tara Setmayer.
Wait, I think did you text it to us or just saw it?
I did. I just put it in the chat. If anybody, if you want to put the link in the chat. A couple people asked.
Okay.
Just debuted it over the weekend, so for the whole Cyber Monday, Black Friday thing, so people can check it out.
But if you go to your Substack, is there like there's a shop tab?
I'm gonna put it there because I'm still learning how to do it. But if you subscribe to my Substack, you'll be able to get the little discounts.
So first of all, subscribe if you've not subscribed to Sarah's Substack yet. Uncompromised on Substack.
Thank you.
Go buy her merch. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I have mugs too.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. It's my warrior woman with the truth sword.
Go do it.
And your graphic designer always does such a very, very good job. Did he do the hat as well?
He did all of it. So Michelle is talking about my graphic designer who is in-house, who works for free. It's my husband. He did the whole thing. He did everything. Yeah. So there's some cool
a lot of our stuff at Seneca as well. And not the main logo, but pretty much everything else.
All the merch. Yes,
so he does a wonderful job, and he does like fashion design and stuff as well. He's very, very talented.
He does. He has a cricket clothing line called London Royce Cricket, and he did all of that.
Most comfortable shirts I own, by the way. I wear that all the time.
Yes, yes, and yes. In his spare time from having a badge and a gun, he has designed an entire cricket clothing line called London Royce Cricket. If you are into the sport of cricket, very cool t-shirts and stuff. And so he grew up in Brooklyn around a lot of West Indians who played cricket. So he always had an interest in it. He doesn't play, but he had an interest because it's actually a very cool sport once you know the rules. Because I thought it was crazy when he told me he wanted to do this. I'm like, cricket, it takes 5 days to play a game. Nobody understands what's happening. What are you doing? He's like, yeah, it's the second most popular sport in the world next to soccer. Then I said, oh, so there's a huge market for this that I'm unaware of. So of course, what did I do? I learned the sport of cricket. And once I learned it, I was like, okay, this is very cool. We're all into it now. And a couple years ago, actually 6 years ago, right now, we were in London because he was working the NATO summit, and I flew over there because I'd never been to London. It's where I got to see Hamilton for the first time, which is very cool.
That's
and then
we took a audience to see it with.
Oh, it was awesome. And then we went on a bus tour to Windsor Castle, which was very cool. We went to Stonehenge, which was really cool. And then we went to the town of Bath, which is beautiful. And there's Christmas markets, and they filmed some of Bridgerton there, which I didn't realize till after. But then the highlight of the trip wasn't Stonehenge. It wasn't Windsor Castle. It was going to Lord's Cricket Stadium, which is like the Yankee Stadium of cricket.
Where is it? In London?
In London, yes. And we were the only Americans. We got a private tour, and we were geeking out because that was the year that there was like an unbelievable cricket world champ. The Cricket World Cup was like one of the most spectacular in 40 years. And it was between England and New Zealand, and it was a whole thing. And so they were fascinated by the fact that Americans were there. They're like, what are you doing here and why?
Is it catching on? Like, what's going on?
Yes. There's professional cricket teams now in the US. There's a whole cricket league in the US, and they hosted a Cricket World Cup already. So yeah.
Wait, your husband grew up in London?
No, he grew up in Brooklyn.
Oh, in Brooklyn. I think
but a lot of West Indians who play because of the British influence, right? Any British colony pretty much loves cricket. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, like all those places, the West Indies, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, they all have very strong cricket programs. As a matter of fact,
India, Pakistan too.
Oh yeah, they're the biggest. I mean, they are the hugest. Like they talk about how when they're little kids that they are born with a cricket bat before they pick up a book. It's like it's a huge thing for them.
So we, because I know you have to go soon, Tara. But before we do, could we just, because we're not going to do this on Saturday. Wait, by the way, we will still be here on Saturday. Tara, of course, is going to jump in whenever she can or wants to. But since this Saturday, Tara, I don't know what your schedule is or whether you're available.
I will not be there this Saturday. And the reason is because it's the holidays and there is a major annual Christmas festival.
Oh, okay.
That is happening that we have to go to in the morning. Because if you don't get there in the morning, all the good stuff is gone.
Okay. So because Tara won't be here on Saturday, we cannot let you go before discussing this whole Olivia Newsy situation, because it's been 2 weeks and I have not learned about any new sexual acts in the last 2 weeks from following this.
I just want to say, damn you guys for that conversation, because of course I found out.
I told you not to look.
I didn't Google it. I didn't want it in the algo.
Setmayer, I don't want to hear it.
I didn't Google it. I read comments. I read it in the comments section, and I almost threw up.
I told you not to go there. I told you to ignore it. You ignored my warning.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And I'll say this in Tara's defense. People put shit in the comments and you're scrolling and you can't see it. Like, it's like the day that the Charlie Kirk thing happened. I was like, had to do this while you really have to like physically block your eyes because people will write shit and you're like, now I know things I wish.
All right. Well, since we don't want to dwell on that disgusting thing, because I'll have to go rinse my mouth just from the thought of it. But Tim Miller had her on the bulwark.
Yeah, I was sitting there packing last night and
I missed this.
Yeah, and I was like,
he treated her well.
Yeah.
But
is Vanity Fair going to fire her? Because I mean,
they have to.
They shouldn't have hired her in the first place. But
from what I saw, and this was just a brief thing. Oh, Oliver has his energy back. Okay. Just that's my
yay.
Skinny. People at Vanity Fair said that, like, well, did she work here anyways? Because apparently she hadn't been to any meetings yet. She hadn't come to anything. She hadn't checked in on anybody. So, we'll see. I
feel like she's trying to go for like this whole like celebrity thing now, where she moved to Malibu.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, of course.
I want to know with what money, by the way. Her book advance, which she's not going to work off because that advance.
I mean, maybe she's got a Keith.
Maybe she's got a Keith Olbermann guy taking care of her now. I don't know.
I mean, her career as a serious journalist is over.
She said she doesn't want to do that anymore, which is
that's bullshit.
I didn't like you either. Like that's what that is.
Yeah.
Like I broke up first. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. That's because she got caught and it ruined her career and violated every journalistic ethic rule there is. So she doesn't have a career like that anymore. So she's going to have to go the celebrity kind of smut route and reinvent herself. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And well, it's unfortunate to see such a smart young woman. You know what I'm saying? Because I was
very talented.
I was listening to Tim Miller talk last night, and I was like, first of all, I wish I had the vocabulary of these two. I just do not. But like it was such an intelligent conversation otherwise. Like I was listening to two very intelligent people, and I was like looking at her, and I was like, why?
I know.
You know what I mean? It's too bad. It's too bad.
I don't understand why women continue to go this route. I say the same thing every time I look at all of these women enablers in the Trump administration who are just soulless ghouls who are doing the work of a madman. And it's like, why? Think more of yourself. Think more of yourself. Like, what happened? Did your dad not tell you he loved you enough? Is it you don't have a good relationship with your mom? Like, what happened to you that as a woman that you feel like this is what you have to do to feel validated?
It makes me sad and angry and like for all the reasons, you know what I mean? For all the reasons that it's still happening, you know? It's because women feel like they have to
and then they go and they butcher themselves and they butcher their faces and their bodies to fit a certain aesthetic that they think is what's necessary to get attention and to get to, to gain fame, fortune, and relevance in this administration. And it's all just so grotesque. I can't.
No, I'm right there with you. Well, Tara, I know you have to go. So I want to throw this up here. StreamYard has this new thing where there's like a countdown to these banners. So they stay up for 10 seconds and I have to hit it again. But
that's weird.
I know.
Turn that off.
I know. I'm like, why? And then once there it goes. I have it again. Tara Setmayer, please find her on Substack. Please subscribe. If you have the extra, please, a lot of people are doing great stuff on Substack, right? If you got the extra $5 or whatever it is, please throw it people's way because people have so much to offer and so much experience and decades of knowledge to share with all of us when we really cannot trust and count on mainstream media to give it to us straight anymore. So for in whatever way you can and support people, follow, subscribe, paid or not, find Tara Setmayer at Uncompromised. Buy yourself a Slay All Day hat. Of course, as always, we hope that you will continue to support the Seneca Project, share our content, watch the stakes, follow across platforms. And then JoJo, unfortunately, couldn't be here today, but we want to tell you to make sure that you follow JoJo from Jurors if you don't know her already on all the platforms. I knew her from Twitter before anything else. And there it goes again. I have to hit it. And Are You Effing Kidding Me on Substack? And she also, we're so proud of her, has the Siren, which has so many contributors now. I've lost count because again, she saw this place where there was no trusted voices, and she worked for a year to build this with people that she trusted to build this out, and is a trusted voice that I hope that everyone watching here will continue to support. And Julie and I are doing our own thing with Mayday, and our door is always open. We hope we see Tara back, but I'll be over on the stakes tomorrow. We'll be doing our thing there too. And so, life happens and we're all busy. And so unfortunately, but fortunately, because this show has been so much fun, we've done this. We started, I think it was on Inauguration Day on January 20th of this year. And it was a wonderful way for us all to get to know each other and to have these really important conversations. And we're so grateful to all of you in this wonderful, kind community that came together to watch this show. And Salty Politics, Julie, I'm so sorry. Salty, so sorry. I love you. I promise. I'm so sorry. Please go to Salty Politics on Substack, where Julie is writing 12,000 words a day about Russia and other things. No, I'm exaggerating, but they are
exaggerating. Actually,
are they 12? I mean, that seems like a lot. I don't write, so I don't know word count things. But please go read Julie's Substack as well. She's writing really important analysis about what's going on specifically with foreign policy, and Russia is what always piques my interest. So, and lift lift our voices. Your work still doing your work with Gretchen Carlson, which is wonderful, supporting women in the workplace, which is very, very important, especially when you see things like Olivia Nuzzi. We want to protect women in their workplaces and make sure that they are, always have the correct support that they need. All right, ladies, any parting words?
I just wanted to say that it's been a crazy year, and we've all survived it, and partially because of the community that we've all built and the relationships, and being out our common denominator of being democracy defenders, and that continues, just because over it has run its course here, because of all different reasons. Going into the 2026 midterms, we all have our respective lanes of things that we are focusing on and prioritizing, and so, but it's all in service of the same goal, which is to get these bastards out of office, to right this ship, and to build community and educate and empower and inspire people to stay on that path. So we are, as we come into the new year, we all will have our our contributions to this fight, and so and that's I think something that we can all look forward to, and do it together in different ways. Just because I'm not on May Day doesn't mean that we're not over there doing something else, or it's just a matter of there's only but so many hours in the day.
Right, exactly. So, and we'll be in different places, but like you said, Tara, with the same goal in mind, and we're all supportive of each other, and
absolutely,
we're all gonna go do all the good things.
Yes. Tara, you have the stakes on Thursdays at
7:30.
7:30. You have Don Lemon every week, or how often do you do them?
I mean, I do Don whenever we feel like it. Don and I are, best buds for years. That's my buddy, and so I appear regularly on here, not a set schedule, but like a same thing with Mary Trump. She's been asking me to kind of fill in for her as she's stepping out more. She's doing more public appearances and more speaking engagements. So I've been stepping in to guest host her show. There's just a lot of things, Seneca's scaling up going into 2026 because of the, what's happening with the midterms. So there's just a lot of things happening coming to the new year. It'll be a little bit more structured, but that's partially why I just need the time to be able to make sure that I can be where I need to be, where I'm most effective.
Got it. Okay. So you can catch Tara.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. You can catch Tara in all those different places.
Yeah, and on my Substacks, of course. I'm starting to do more and more of those. To give my Substack community what they come there for, which is different than all of this stuff. So
okay, so you can catch Tara there. You can catch Michelle and me every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. That's not going anywhere. We're still going to have the Saturday show 10 o'clock every Saturday. Open door invite. Tara, we love you. Anytime you want to come. It's your show just as much as it is ours. So please come anytime. And what else do we have? I will be on May Day with Olga Lautman tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. Michelle is going to be on Seneca at 7:30 on the stakes, right, Michelle?
Yes.
Tomorrow. We have our Jeff Jarvis show at 11
on
Friday, assuming he can do it from Europe, which is where he is. So yeah, everything is.
Do we have Joe's video?
I don't know.
Oh, she didn't upload it. Okay.
Right. Maybe we'll send it to us. We'll upload it.
Okay. So I don't know. Just so folks know, Jo was trying to send a sign-off message to us. She's, like I said, there's a veterinary situation happening with her family's doggy, her sister's doggy, and so I just wanted to make sure that Jo had an opportunity to have that. Do you have it?
Let me I'm opening my Signal app because my phone's in the front where my.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. No, Jo,
she didn't send it.
She didn't send it. Okay, no problem. But Jo, she's slaying it with the siren.
Oh, she did send it.
Did she send it? Oh, okay, good.
Can you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Hey guys, it's me, Joe. I know I haven't seen you in a little while, and I'm sorry about that. With Abby's soccer and the holidays and life and craziness, it's just been really difficult the last few months. But I just wanted to come on and say thank you to this incredible community that you've all built out there. And thank you for your support, for your contributions to the chat, for your kindness. And I hope that you all have a beautiful, happy, healthy holiday season. It's not goodbye. It's just see you next time and see you elsewhere. Because I'm still out there. You can find me on the Are You Effing Kidding Me Substack. You can find me on the Siren Substack. You can find me in various podcasts and, of course, on every social media platform, including Twitter. Yeah, you're going to have to drag me off of that one, kicking and screaming. But for now, so long. And again, thank you all so very much. Okay, I'm going to miss you guys, but I'm going to see you soon. Bye.
That's very sweet.
There you go. Very sweet.
We love JoJo. Jersey Girls Unite. All right, guys.
All right, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Au revoir.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.